Hey, it's Katie, and welcome back to my booktube channel. Today's video is a very overdue book haul because I haven't done one of these since I think Christmas Eve. So I got some books for Christmas. I bought myself some books because there's a lot of new releases I was really excited for. And then also I just bought myself other books as well. So there's like 21 books in this haul, so let's jump into it. This first chunk of books are all the books I got for Christmas from my family, and the first one is Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. I don't know too much about it. I know it's obviously very popular. Pretty much everybody has read it but me, but I don't know too much about it. I know it's about a girl named Juliet whose touch is fatal, and I know people are trying to use her as a weapon, and that's pretty much all I know. I know there's romance in the series as well that people really seem to enjoy, so I'm really excited to start it. The cover looks really cool, and I know people really love it, so I am excited to start this at some point. Then I got Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. I can never say her name, and I really should have looked it up, but I forgot. So this is the sequel to Serpent and Dove, and I read that like a year or two ago. I'm not sure. And I think I gave it like 4 stars, but I don't remember enjoying it that much. So I ended up rereading it recently, and I did really enjoy it. So I'm glad I got this for Christmas. Hopefully I will continue the series. I have like this habit of always reading the first book in a series and not continuing it. So fingers crossed I actually read this one, but it is the sequel. So hopefully I enjoy it. And the cover of this is beautiful as well. After that, we have Don't Fall in Love by Jackie Lau, and all I know is that this is a food-centric romance. I think it's between an actor and a baker, and I love food-centric rom-coms. There's something so fun about having a romance set around food, whether it's like baking or cooking or anything like that. So when I saw that this not only was a food-centric romance, but also the title had a pun in it, and I'm a sucker for puns, I knew that I wanted to read this. And it sounds so cute. So this gives me like spring, summer vibes, so I will probably read this really soon. I also got 2 fantasies that I've been wanting to read for a very long time, and they are Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim and All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. This one is like a pirate romance, I think. On the back it says, Princess, Pirate, Stowaway, Mermaid, the crew makes the queen. And it sounds so good. I read Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller like a little over a year ago, and I'm obsessed with that book. I love it so much. So I've been looking for like pirate books ever since. I mean, if there's a romance, it's obviously great too. So I knew that I wanted to read this like very early on, and I just for some reason never picked it up. So now I finally have the perfect opportunity. And then this, I think it's supposed to be like Mulan meets, I don't know if it's like Project Runway or something. I know there's like fashion, but also she's trying to like compete to become the tailor, I think. I don't know. As you can see, I don't really know a lot about these books. I just see people talk about them, and I'm like immediately sucked in. So I am really excited for this one. And then the last book I got for Christmas was A Sweet Mess by J.C. Lee. This is another food-centric romance. This follows Aubrey, who owns her own bakery, and then she has a one-night stand with somebody who she doesn't realize is a food critic that gave her bakery a bad review, and that review like went viral. So to try to smooth things over, he invites her to be a part of this celebrity cooking show he's producing, and they end up having to share a villa in California's wine country. That's like a lot to unpack, but it sounds so good. It involves baking. It's like enemies to lovers because they had like a one-night stand, and then he kind of like ruined everything. And then also it seems like forced proximity, which I'm a sucker for. So I have really good feelings about this one. Now we are moving on to a bunch of new releases. They're probably not so new now because it's already the end of March or the beginning of April. I'm not really sure when this video will come out, but these are 2022 releases. So the first one is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I'm very surprised I haven't even read this yet, but Colleen Hoover books, I feel like I can convince myself I'm prepared for, and then they still hit really hard. So I don't think I'm emotionally ready for this yet. Maybe when it gets consistently warm outside, I will feel ready enough to brave this book. But I think it's about a mom who was sentenced to like 5 years in prison, and she just got out of prison, so she's trying to go back to her hometown and reconnect with her daughter. And everybody has kind of turned against her, but there is one person in town that stands by her side and tries to help her reconnect. I've only read one other book where we have an ex-convict as a main character, and I really enjoyed that element of it, so I'm really excited to dive in and meet another character who also has that in their past, and I just feel like I'm really going to connect to this romance. Then we have this beast of a book, which is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the Crescent City series. I was terrified to read Crescent City, and I finally read it in October. It was so good, and I like flew through it even though it's a huge book, and this one is also so big. Like, I'm scared to pick this one up as well, mostly because I have to reread House of Earth and Blood before I read this one, but I feel like it's going to be really rewarding when I do. I know everybody's been talking about this book since it came out, and I can't wait to read it. It's going to take me a while, but I will read this book. Speaking of big books, I finally got Court by Tracy Wolff. This book was supposed to come out last year, and it got pushed back, and I'm so glad I finally have it in my hands. I reread the first 3 books in the series, and I'm currently in the middle of this one. I mean, I'm really not that far into it, but I'm like 100 pages in, and I love this series with all my heart, so I'm really happy that I have this one in my hands. The next one I got was The Bone Spindle by Leslie Vedder, and on the front it says, "Kiss the Prince, Break the Curse." On the back it says, "The Sleep of Death Broken with a Single Kiss." And I know that this focuses on, I think, 3 different characters. We have a bookish treasure hunter, a warrior, and a prince under a sleeping curse. It's a fast-paced fantasy full of adventure, romance, found family, and snark. And that sounds perfect. This cover is so intriguing. That's really all I needed to know about it. I also got a couple romances that have been recently released, and the first one is Love at First Spite by Anna E. Collins. And this is about a girl who buys the vacant lot next to her ex-fiance because she wants revenge. I guess her ex-fiance cheated on her with the realtor, and she bought this vacant lot because she's an interior designer and she wants to create this vacation rental that will mess with his view and peace of mind. And she ends up having to team up with somebody, he's an architect. So she ends up having to team up with him, and he's like super arrogant but also really handsome, and it seems like a fun like enemies to lovers, and also like an interesting concept because they have to work together to build this house. It sounds really cute. It's pretty short, so I feel like it's a great spring romance. I also got Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, and I already read this one. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Easy 5 stars for sure. This follows the second Kane brother. If you read the fine print, you know there's 3 brothers. First was Rowan, and this one follows Declan, and it also has Marriage of Convenience, Grumpy Sunshine, Workplace Romance, probably a lot more than I'm forgetting, but it has a lot of tropes that I absolutely love, and I honestly want to reread it already. And then the last new release I got was Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey, and my fiance spoiled me because he pre-ordered this for me, and it is signed and personalized, which is so sweet. And then it also came with a sticker of the love interest, Fox, and it's so good. This is the companion novel to It Happened One Summer. I also read this one already. I'm obsessed with this one as well. Easy 5 stars. It's a friends to lovers, and it's just so good. Also, Hannah, our main character, loves music. She can always come up with a song to match any person or situation, which is so cool. So I loved that element as well. And if you loved It Happened One Summer, you definitely have to pick this one up. The rest of these books are just random books I picked up over the past few months, and the first random ones are Strange Planet and Stranger Planet by Nathan W. Pyle. These are really cute graphic novels about like aliens. I don't even really know how to describe them. They just feel like very good coffee table books. It has like little, I don't know, it's just like the way that they describe normal things are really funny. For example, it has like some of the phrases in the back. It calls tea hot leaf liquid. It calls coffee jitter liquid, or balloons are elastic breath traps. Like, it just uses really weird ways to describe things, but technically it's true, so it just makes it really funny. It's like stupid humor that I feel like is just great coffee table books, so that's why I picked these up. On the complete opposite side of the spectrum, I ended up getting Priest by Sierra Simone, and this is a spicy romance, probably also a dark romance. I'm not sure. There might be trigger warnings in here. I don't really know too much about it. I've never read anything by Sierra Simone, but I've heard phenomenal things about this trilogy, and I had to pick it up when I saw it at Barnes & Noble. And all I know is it's a spicy priest romance, and I know that there's a really good altar scene, so I'm looking forward to that, and I can't wait to start this one. I also picked up Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This is another dark romance. Definitely check trigger warnings for this one. I did end up reading it, and it's so good. Emily calls this series Fractured Fairy Tales, which is really fun because this whole series focuses on villains getting their happily ever after, and this one follows Captain Hook from Peter Pan. And it's so good because it takes place in like the modern world. It's like your typical like dark romance, but it has references to Peter Pan. We have Hook, we have Wendy, it references the Jolly Roger, I think it even references Peter Pan himself. So it just has a ton of fun references set in like this really dark romance, and it's so good. It also has a playlist on the front, and I'm a sucker for books that have this. I think Terms and Conditions also has a playlist, so I love that. Sticking with spicy romances, I also have Barbarian Alien by Ruby Dixon. I've read Ice Planet Barbarians. I really enjoyed it, and when I saw this at Target or Walmart, I don't even know where I saw it, but it was somewhere I wasn't expecting to find a spicy romance, and I knew I had to pick it up. This is the companion novel to that. It's like the second book in the series. I don't even know which other people it follows, but I just knew that I really enjoyed the first one, and I kind of want to experience more of this world. We're definitely getting toward the end of this book haul, I promise, but we have 3 more to go. My fiance ended up buying me these 2 books because I really enjoyed the first 2 in the series. He bought me Escaping from Houdini and Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco. I'm not sure which one comes first, I'm not gonna lie. Typically I save these for fall. I love reading them in like October or November, and they're just so like creepy, but also they're just written so well. It's so captivating, and there's also romance in here, like the tiniest bit of romance, but let's see if I can find some. There's some really like creepy pictures in these typically. I can't find any. Oh, there was one, hold on. And by creepy, I just mean like they look like old pictures, like black and white. So it's always really fun to have those added elements as well, but these are just, I really like this series, so I'll probably save these for fall as well, but maybe I'll try to read them around the same time so that I can complete one of the series I own. And then last but definitely not least, I have The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I read this back in August, but I couldn't find paperbacks anywhere. I don't even think they came out until sometime this year. So I was at Target one day and I saw it in the book section, and I didn't even know it was out yet, and I had to pick up a copy. So I bought it, and I have since reread it at least once, maybe even twice. This is like one of my comfort books. I love this book so much. It has like all of my favorite tropes. So if you're one of the few people that haven't read this yet, definitely go do it. It's so good, and I love it so much. Okay, if you made it this far, I'm really appreciative that you stuck with me. This was a very long video to film. I'm gonna try really hard to not wait that long to do another book haul because this was a process, but 21 books later, here we are. So if you did make it this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.